Wildcat Country. This is Wildcat Sports Radio. Mike Fisher broadcasting live from the all-new Main Street Pizza broadcast booth here at Abrams Stadium on the campus of Williamsburg High School. It is a boys and girls soccer doubleheader this afternoon as the boys and girls are celebrating senior night a little early this year, just to make sure they get it all in before anything else could go wrong in 2020. The Wildcats, they play host this afternoon to the Rockets of Clearmont Northeastern, coached by Mr. Rob Collier. They come in at 2-2 overall, 2-0 in the National Division. They've defeated Felicity. They've lost to Goshen and Western Brown, and then just recently defeated Lancaster. The Wildcats come in at 0-2-1 with a tie to Landmark Christian, and a couple of losses to Bethel and Cincinnati on goal. We're ready to get it kicked off. I want to thank our sponsors, Remarkable Designs, 32Q, Fisher Chiropractic and Massage Therapy, Better Together Medicare Solutions, and Cadill Landscape Contractors, and of course, Main Street Pizza. All right, the Rockets are going to get the opening kickoff, and they're going to kick it backwards, as everybody seems to do. Working it around the side, ball kicked up in the air. A header by Zeke Holtzclaw on the Wildcats side of the field. And it's going to be fought over by Holtzclaw. He's going to get possession, but it's going to be kicked out of bounds, and it looks like the Wildcats are going to get the throw in. And it's going to be Hayden Hollins down under to Eli Jones. Eli works it around, gets it stripped from him, but Sackrider.
Clear out by the Rockets. Nice head play by Raymond.
Sackrider made a good defensive play. The ball goes back towards the Wildcats' way. Hayden Hollins getting possession. He's going to tap it back to Sackrider. And it's going to be tapped back by Kyle Barker over to the middle of the field to Hunter Burdine. And Eli Jones is going to kick it back towards the Wildcat side. And it's going to go down into the far corner by Holtzclaw over to Zach Early. Shot on goal. And we're going to get a save by Logan Collier for the Rockets. Collier's going to clear it out. A nice boot down towards midfield. Hollins gets it over to Zach Early. Actually, it was Dakota Pierce. And it's going to go out of bounds, and it looks like the Wildcats will get the throw in. 38-35 to play here in the opening half. Eli Jones is going to get it down towards the corner, and it's going to go out of bounds. And it looks like the Rockets are going to get a goal kick. Once again, we are celebrating senior night for the girls and boys soccer team. Here in the boys match, we have Zeke Holtzclaw and goalie Dan Jones, the two lone seniors for the Wildcats. Collier boots it away towards the far side of the field. Looks like it's going to go out of bounds, and the Wildcats will get a throw in right in front of the Rockets bench. Early gets it downfield to Eli Jones. Eli Jones kick, saved by Collier once again. Ball's tapped towards the sidelines. Jared Clancy is going to boot it down the sidelines. Luke Lindsay in pursuit, as well as Pelletier. Pelletier is going to kick it over to Jonathan Etzel. He gets it downfield to Sackrider along the near sidelines. He boots it downfield, and the Rockets are going to clear it back out right to Luke Lindsay, right at midfield. Luke taps it over to Hollins, back over to Pierce, and the Rockets are going to clear it out downfield. Pelletier in pursuit of the ball. He's going to get it. Going to tap it back towards the Rockets. Being tapped around back and forth by the Wildcats and the Rockets. Hayden Hollins is going to come up with it. He's going to clear it out towards midfield. Nick Craig going to tap it. He's going to get it over to, actually, it's going to be Eli Jones taking it away. He's going to clear it out downfield. And the defense of Zayden Hunt will tap it out. And we're going to get a Wildcat throw in at the 36-50 mark here in the first half. Eli Jones gets it out to Hayden Hollins. Tap backwards by Matthew Bunting, but it's going to be cleared out down the sidelines. Out of bounds on the Wildcats, and the Rockets will get the throw in, and it will be sophomore Matthew Bunting doing the honors. He's going to get it into Simon Mattis, and he's going to clear it out downfield. And a 1-2 bouncer right into the hands of goalie Dan Jones. Jones is going to whip it to the far side over to Zach Early. Zach Early going to work it down the sidelines. We're going to get a whistle. Looks like it went out of bounds. And the Rockets will get the throw in. Closing in on the 36-minute mark of the first half here at Williamsburg High School at Abrams Stadium. Absolutely beautiful afternoon. Throw in, intercepted by Zach Early, but he just kicks it right out of bounds, right at midfield. The Rockets with the throw in. Into Austin Yeager, goes over his head, but it's going to be kicked out of bounds by the Wildcats. And the Rockets will get the throw in once again. Ball gets thrown into Jared Glancy. And it goes out of bounds once again. Glancy with the throw in, gets it inside, close to the goalie box. A header by the Rockets, going to go out of bounds, and the Wildcats will get the throw in. At the 35-19 mark. Ball tapped around. Jonathan Etzel is going to clear it out to the far sidelines. And we're going to get a whistle on the play. And that whistle is going to go against the Wildcats. And the Rockets are going to get the throw in. Jared Clancy with the kick on the far side. And he's going to kick it across the field. Gets by one of the Rockets. And it's going to go out of bounds. It was Nick Craig who couldn't handle it. And the Rockets kick it out of bounds, and the Wildcats will get the throw in. Luke Lindsay gets it in to Dakota Pierce. He gets it over to Hayden Hollins. Downfield to Eli Jones. Eli's going to clear it out downfield. And right into the waiting hands of Logan Collier of the Rockets. And a nice punt away towards midfield. Right into the body of Dakota Pierce. Josh Raymond battling it for the Wildcats. Gets back over to Simon Mattis for the Rockets. He kicks it down to the far sidelines. And it's going to go out of bounds with the Wildcats. They're going to get the throw in just under the 34-minute mark into the body of Zach Early. Zach's going to try to work it around the defense, and it's taken away by Jared Clancy. He gets it around Etzel. Clancy falls down. Ball goes out of bounds. And it's going to be a Wildcat throw in. Throw in gets to Hayden Hollins right at midfield. Kicks it down the middle of the field. Gets it over to Zeke Holzclaw. Gets tapped back by Nick Craig over to the near sidelines to Matt Bunning. Bunning clears it down to the sidelines. It's going to go out of bounds. And the Wildcats will get the throw in. Luke Lindsay taps it in to Sack Ryder. Ball gets back over to Sack Ryder downfield to Eli Jones. He's got a straightaway. Goes by him. Eli Jones will tap it in. Eli Jones had a straightaway, got by the goalie, had one man on his tail, kicks it into the back of the net, and the Wildcats will strike first on this Tuesday afternoon. And the Wildcats once again lead now 1-0. And a nice shot to the back of the net by sophomore Eli Jones. Austin Yeager going to tap it back towards the defensive side. Hunter Burdine kicks it back over to the Wildcat side. Sack Ryder and Holzclaw trying to work the ball for the Wildcats. Cleared out. Ball gets by Josh Raymond over to the sidelines, goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a Wildcat throw-in. Josh Raymond will throw it in down the near sidelines. A header by Sack Ryder. Get into the possession of Nick Craig. It's going to go out of bounds, and the Wildcats are going to get the throw-in close to midfield. Sack Ryder throws it into Eli Jones. Eli chips it down the field, and it will be Zayden Hunt coming up with it for the Rockets. Eli Jones defending, and it's going to be kicked out of bounds, and it looks like it's going to be the Wildcats throw-in with Ethan Sack Ryder. And he throws it in right to the Rockets, but it's going to go out of bounds off of Kyle Barker, a sophomore for the Rockets. Zach Ryder once again gets it in. Right to Simon Mattis, but it goes to Hayden Hollins. Taps it back out to Zach Ryder. Zach Ryder over to Josh Raymond. A header by Hunter Burdine. And the header goes out of bounds, and the Wildcats will get the throw in. Josh Raymond will do the throw in. Towards the middle of the field. Goes over the top of Zeke Holzcloth. Zeke gets control of it, but he's defended by a couple of different Rockets, Aiden Hunt being one of those. Tap back by number 10, Austin Cruey. Ball's headed towards the sidelines. Zach Early keeps it from going out of bounds. Ball's kicked out of bounds, and it looks like the Wildcats are going to get the throw in down by the far corner. Zach Early with the throw in. A header by the Rockets, Zayden Hunt. Ball's deflected off of Hayden Hollins. A chip, and it's going to be a save by Collier. As Collier and Zach Ryder will collide. Nice sportsmanship by Zach Ryder, helping up the opposing goalie. Collier's going to boot it a line drive towards midfield, just over the head of Austin Yeager. The Wildcats on defense will get the ball. Pelletier tries to get it over to Raymond, goes out of bounds, and the Rockets will get the throw in. Wilson with the throw in downfield. Ball is headed out of bounds by Ethan Pelletier. Yeager, a junior, will get the throw in to Jared Clancy, one of the top scorers for the Rockets. Out of bounds. Clancy will do the throw in. Clancy gets it towards the middle. Kicked backwards by Pelletier. Nice clear out over to Early. Clears it out towards midfield, but intercepted by Nick Craig. Craig kicks it down to the near sidelines to Jared Clancy. He mishandles the pass out of bounds. And the Wildcats are going to get the throw in at the 29:45 mark of the first half. And it will be Pelletier doing the throw in down the near sidelines over the head of Mattis into the hands of Eli Jones. Header by Nick Craig, but Eli Jones corrals it back. He's going to kick it right back up in the air. Kicks it back to himself, but the Rockets are going to get control back over to Hayden Hollins. Hollins kicked out by Ethan Wilson. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and it will be a Wildcat throw-in. Nice hustle by both teams. As I was saying, Jared Clancy for the Rockets, 4 goals, 3 assists, 11 points on the season. He is second on the team to Yeager's 5 goals, 4 assists, and 14 points.
In for the Wildcats,
Landon Dowie and A.J. Hennies will enter the contest for the Wildcats. And, of course, with this goal at the 32:46 mark of the first half, Eli Jones now with 5 goals on the season. I do believe he has an assist or 2. Eli Jones with a throw-in downfield over the head of the defense, right to Dakota Pierce, but Nick Craig will defend it, and there will be a ball kicked out of bounds by Zayden Hunt, and it will be A.J. Hennies doing the throw-in for the Wildcats at the 28:18 mark. Hennies tries to get over to Eli Jones, and it goes right out of bounds by the net. And Collier will get a ball and boot it away, closing in on the 28-minute mark here in the first half. The Wildcats, they lead 1-0. Nice clear out, a header by Hunter Burdine. Back over to Mattis. Mattis tries to get it around the Wildcat defense, but A.J. Hennies, ball's going to be kicked out of bounds. And A.J. Hennies will get the throw in for the Wildcats. We do have a whistle on the play. Referee kind of directing traffic.
All right, correction will be
Going to be a kick on the near sidelines by Nick Craig downfield to Austin Yeager. Yeager gets it over to Burdine. Burdine kicks it back out, and it looks like Luke Lindsay is going to get control of it for the Wildcats. Over to Hayden Hollins. Hollins kicks it back towards the middle, deflected off of Burdine. It's going to go out of bounds on the Wildcats. We'll get the throw in. 27 minutes to play here in the first half. Wildcats lead at 1-0. Luke Lindsay with the throw in goes over the head of Hayden Hollins. Rockets in pursuit, a 5-on-1 for for the Wildcats, but Jones will come out of the goal to scoop up the loose throw. Excuse me, the loose kick. Hennies with the chip shot over towards midfield to Dakota Pierce, taken back by Craig. Eli Jones and Craig do the pinball effect. Back over to Landon Bacon, man with a golden name, that's for sure. Jared Clancy gets it around Etzel. Gets it around Luke Lindsay, tries to cut it back towards midfield. Takes it back towards the corner. Kicks it back towards midfield. Goes over the head of Ethan Wilson. Wilson's just going to kick it out of bounds. And it's going to be the Wildcats with the throw in. As we hit the 26-minute mark right now. Get a whistle on the play as Bryce Powers will enter the game. And Ethan Pelletier will come out and get a breather. Hennies gets it across the midfield to Landon Dowie. Gets by him and the defense into the possession of Zach Early. Zach's going to get it downfield. It's going to go out of bounds, but the Rockets will get the throw in. Into Jared Clancy. Backwards kick. Goes down to the far corner. Clancy and Lindsay in pursuit. Clancy comes up with it. Being defended by Etzel. Clancy gets a back shot on goal. Just over top of the goal. And the Wildcats will get a goal kick. Make that a throw in. Thank God for Guy Bainham keeping me straight. Closing in on the 25-minute mark of the first half. Wildcats will get the throw in from the near corner. It will be A.J. Pelletier. Throws it in towards midfield. Eli Jones gets kicked towards the Wildcat bench. Eli Jones gets it taken from Simon Mattis. Back downfield, taken back by Josh Raymond. Clears it out. That's going to be Ethan Wilson. Clears it back towards the middle. A boot downfield by the Rocket defense. Going to be headed out of bounds by Josh Raymond. A nice clear out by the Rockets. Zayden Hunt, a freshman midfielder. And it looks like Nick Craig's going to do the throw in or the corner kick for the Rockets. As Ethan Pelletier will stand ready to enter the game once again. Shot on goal saved by Dan Jones. He came out of the goal to make the save. And he's going to boot it away towards midfield. Nice hang time. A header by Zayden Hunt. A.J. Hennies plays defense, gets it back. And it's Josh Raymond going to save it from going out of bounds, kicking it back towards the middle of the field, but taken back by the Rockets. And that's Kyle Barker. Barker over to Wilson, taken it back by Zach Early, number 23, downfield. Zach in. And Zach may have given a little push off on the defense. And it looks like the penalty will be against the Wildcats and Zach Early. A little bit of a push off, trying to go for the ball. The Rockets will go for the kick. It'll be Austin Crewy on the far side of the field. Line drive, boot toward midfield. It's going to be Zach Early getting possession. Ethan Wilson in defense, kicks it over to the opposite side of the field, right in front of us. A.J. Hennies is trying to keep it settled for the Wildcats. Back over to Burdine, downfield for the Rockets. And it's going to be taken back by Josh Raymond. Boots it over to midfield, over to Hayden Hollins, gets it cleared out, but it's going to be Ethan Wilson. Make that Crewy. Ball back over into the hands of Eli Jones as he pursues it towards the far side of the field. Downfield. Ball is going to be saved by the goalie as Collier comes all the way out of the goalie box. Ball is going to be kicked towards the far side of the field. Going to go out of bounds. And no indication of referee's holding up the flag, but that's about it. Wildcats will get the throw in over to Dowie. Dowie gets it in the middle to Eli Jones. Gets it around the defense. He's got a lane, but it's going to be tapped by the defense from behind. And it's going to go out of bounds, and it will be the Rockets booting it away. 21:45 to play here in the first half. Collier will set it up for the goal kick. The Wildcats lead at 1-0. Wildcats looking for that elusive first victory of the season. Line drive to the left side. Gets over to Jared Clancy. He's going to boot it in the air over to Landon Bacon. Dowie with the header gets back over to the Rockets. Downfield to Luke Lindsay. He's going to clear it out for the Wildcats downfield. Eli Jones in pursuit, but it's going to be headed back by the Rockets and Zayden Hunt. Kicked out of bounds, and the Wildcats will get a throw in. We're going to get a water drink timeout here at Abrams Stadium. Just under the 21-minute mark here at Abrams Stadium. It is the Wildcats 1. The Wildcats 1, the Rockets nothing. We'll be right back on Wildcat Sports Radio. Well, but it's time to feed the family. Everyone is going to want something different. Make the call that'll please them all. 513-724-5543 to Main Street Pizza. Again, that's 513-724-5543. Whether it's a piping hot pizza with their favorite toppings, a pasta with a salad, a steak hoagie, or an order of the absolute best hot wings in town. That's 513-724-5543. Whether it's pickup or delivery, let's make it just another Main Street Pizza kind of night. Cadill Landscape Contractors specializes in spring and fall cleanup, design, low voltage lighting, paver patios, installation, and maintenance. Give Greg and Kim Cadill a call at 513-473-6267. That's 513-473-6267. That's Cadill Landscape Contractors. All right, welcome back to Abrams Stadium. Wildcats lead at 1-0 over our visiting Claremont Northeastern Rockets. Also going on tonight in Wildcat Country, JV and Varsity Volleyball. They took the trip down to Felicity. I haven't gotten any updates as of yet, but I will try to get some and pass them along to you as we go along this evening. Tomorrow night, girls and boys soccer doubleheader at Felicity, getting underway at 4:30 for the boys, 6:30 for the girls. Also tomorrow, middle school volleyball at Hamersville, kicking off at 4:30. Middle school football is at Batavia, and is still scheduled at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, tomorrow night. The Rockets have made it back onto the field. Let's get Thursday. Middle school volleyball at home versus Felicity at 4:30. And JV and Varsity volleyball at home against Claremont Northeastern. That again Thursday night. JV gets it started at 5 o'clock. And the Varsity at 6 o'clock. More to come in Wildcat Country coming up. The Wildcats have made it back onto the field after a quick water break. Keep everybody refreshed. And I just did get a update. JV set 1 goes to the Lady Wildcats 25-23. Thank you, John Macklin. All right, Zach Early will get the throw in on the far side of the field. Everybody got a water break except the radio announcer, and I'm going to do that before Zach throws it in. All right, Zach gets the ball into the middle of the field. Eli Jones tries to get it around the defense, but it's going to be kicked out of bounds by, it's going to be out of bounds on the Wildcats. And Logan Collier will get the goal kick at the 20-40 mark. 25-13, the Lady Wildcats get set 1. At Felicity, clear out by Collier to midfield. Jonathan Etzel over to Hollins, gets it back over to the Rocket side of the field. Jared Clancy, great ball movement by Clancy, kicked it down towards the goal, right into the hands of Dan Jones. Jones will get his second save of the game. Jared Clancy, very, very talented soccer player. Hennies gets the ball away from the Rocket defense over to Eli Jones. Gets it into Holtzclaw, but taken away by the Rockets. Hunt gets it over to Wilson. Wilson kicks it downfield. And it's going to be Mattis kicking it out of bounds. Looks like the Wildcats are going to get the throw in. Pelletier over towards midfield, headed out by Simon Mattis, a freshman midfielder for the Rockets. A.J. Hennies right at midfield with the throw, and we have hit the halfway point of the first half. Downfield to Zach Ryder, but it's going to be a sliding save by Logan Collier. He's going to boot it away here in just a moment. And a nice punt towards midfield, right to the possession of Jared Clancy. Goes by him. Etzel will clear it out to Nick Craig of the Rockets over to Dakota Pierce. Pierce takes it. Ball is kicked towards the far side of the field for the Rockets. Downfield, Luke Lindsay and Clancy in pursuit. Clancy gets the kick, but Luke Lindsay comes up with the ball. Clancy takes it away from him. Works it towards the middle of the field. A nice slide. And a save by Dan Jones on the Rockets' shot on goal. Garrett Beach with that shot on goal. Ball's kicked up in the middle of the air towards midfield. Beach will kick it back, and it's going to go to Hayden Hollins. Hollins, far side, back over to Beach. Back to Hollins. Downfield to the far side, and it will be Landon Bacon kicking it out of bounds. And the Wildcats will get the throw in, and it will be Zach Early. Going to get a whistle. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Is that an illegal throw-in? Anyway, it looks like Austin Crewy, a senior fullback, will check back into the game for the Rockets. 21 Landon Bacon will get a break. Crewy will get the ball thrown in right to Zach Early, taken back by the Rockets. Kicked by Hayden Hollins, taken back by the Wildcats again. Etzel with a nice clear out. Eli Jones taps it, but a header by that Zayden Hunt gets it back over to the Rockets. Hollins tries to kick it back over downfield, and it's going to be Hunt once again kicking it back for the Rockets towards midfield. Etzel clears it out for the Wildcats downfield, and it will be Kyle Barker kicking it out of bounds. And a Wildcat throw in down to Eli Jones right in front, but it's going to be deflected by Hunt. Ball is going to be kicked and deflected out by A.J. Hennies. And it looks like the Rockets will get the throw in. Bryce Powers will check in. A.J. Hennies will get a break for the Wildcats. And Hunter Burdine will check back into the Rockets lineup. Throw in. Tapped by Zach Ryder. Kick back towards midfield. And the Wildcats will get the throw in right at midfield. 16:38 to play. Pelletier inbounds. A header by Eli Jones. Clears it out. And Kyle Barker is going to tap it out of bounds for a Wildcat throw in. Eli Jones will chase it out of bounds, and we'll do the throw-in. Gets it towards the middle of the field, almost a near header by Holtzclaw. It's good! Zeke Holtzclaw gets the back of the net. At the 16:11 mark, and these Wildcats are pumped and ready to play here on senior night, as they jump out to a 2-0 lead. Zeke Holtzclaw with his first goal of the year. And the Wildcats lead it 2-0. The Rockets, Matt Bunting will tap it back towards the defense to Nick Craig. Craig works it towards the near sidelines, goes out of bounds, and it will be a Wildcat throw-in. Pelletier will do the honors, gets it into Eli Jones, gets by Eli, over to Burdine. Burdine back downfield. Jonathan Etzel tries to clear it out. It goes out of bounds, and the Wildcats are going to get the throw in at midfield. Goals by Eli Jones and Zeke Holtzclaw. 2-0 Wildcats. Dakota Pierce gets possession, gets it inside to Eli Jones. Holtzclaw tipped it down to Eli Jones. And it's going to be a nice save by Logan Collier. That was save or bust for Logan Collier. He comes up with it. A nice clear out towards midfield to Jared Clancy. Clancy just going to boot it downfield. In pursuit is Austin Yeager and Pelletier. Ball's going to be kicked back out of bounds. And the Wildcats are going to get the throw in. Looks like it's going to be a goal kick by Dan Jones. And we are at the 15-minute mark of the first half. The Wildcats lead it 2-0 over the visiting Claremont Northeastern Rockets on senior night. And it will be Blake Dean checking into the lineup for Zeke Holtzclaw.
For the Wildcats. Zeke getting the break for seniors.
Nice job by Zeke. Line drive kick to Ethan Pelletier. Kicks backward.
Nice clear out.
Powers kicks it back to the far side over to Jared Clancy. Clancy takes it downfield to the far corner. Works it around the defense, and it's going to be Luke Lindsay coming up with it out of bounds. And we're going to get a whistle. Referee's patting his knee. A couple of substitutions for the Rockets. 21 Landon Bacon coming in. And when this young man turns around, it's Matt Bunning. All right. A corner kick by the Rockets with a header by Nick Craig, and it's going to go out of bounds for the Wildcats. Going to be a goal kick for Dan Jones. Actually, that was not Nick Craig. It was Austin Yeager. All right, Dan Jones has it lined up, ready to boot it away. Line drive towards midfield, right to Dakota Pierce. Body shot goes backwards over to Eli Jones. Eli works it around, taken back by Yeager. Downfield to Glancy. It's Glancy, shot on goal. Good. Jared Glancy at the 13:21 mark. Off the assist by Yeager. And that will close the gap to 2-1 for the Wildcats. Nice footwork by Glancy. A nice assist by Austin Yeager. Dan Jones ready to go. Blake Dean in the middle of the field. He's going to tap it back to Eli Jones. Jones works it around the defense, gets it to the far side of the field, kicks it over to Zach Early. Zach taps it back towards midfield. You okay? Back downfield for the Rockets. And it's going to be Luke Lindsay kicking it off of Yeager. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and the Wildcats will get the throw in. And we are under 13 minutes to play here in the first half. The Wildcats 2-1 over the Rockets of Claremont Northeastern here on senior night. Ball into the Rockets, and it goes off of Garrett Leach. Wildcats will get the throw in. Looks like it will be Luke Lindsay on the far side of the field. Gets it downfield, tries to get it to Zach Early, gets by the Crewy on defense. Early kicks it towards the middle of the field, deflected by Hunt. Hunt kicks it back over to the far side to Garrett Leach. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will be a Wildcat throw in right at midfield. Lindsay into Dakota Pierce. Pierce works it backwards, and Burdine's going to get it over to Garrett Leach on the far side. Zach Early and Hollins in pursuit on defense over to Clancy. Clancy works it towards midfield. Tapped away, deflected off of the Wildcats. Looked like it was Bryce Powers. Hayden Hollins. Downfield to Zach Early. It's going to be Crewy coming up with the ball. Crewy's going to tap it back towards the Rockets bench. Garrett Leach kicks it back towards midfield. Goes all the way to the far side. And Ethan Sackrider is going to let it go out of bounds, and the Wildcats will get the throw in into Blake Dean. He's going to tap it back ahead. It will be kicked out of bounds by, looks like, Nick Craig of the Rockets at 11:30 here in the first half. Wildcats leading at 2-1. Sackrider will do the throw in. Gets it to Blake Dean. A little bit of defense by Bunting. Out to midfield to Pelletier. Over to Etzel in the middle. He brings it back towards the middle. Kicked backwards by Simon Mattis. Mattis back over to the middle of the field to Blake Dean. Back to Hollins. He's going to tap it to the far side, but Garrett Leach. But it's going to be deflected by Hollins. Downfield, the Wildcats got a 3-2 advantage. Blake Dean taps it, deflected back by the Rockets. Landon Bacon. Ball deflected back to, once again, Dean, deflected by Bacon. Downfield to Eli Jones. He kicks it into Zach Hurley. He puts it back in the back of the net. But we're going to get a whistle, and I'm assuming it's going to be offsides. Well, it's the 10:30 mark of the first half. Jeez. Offsides. All right, Logan Collier going to set it up for the goal kick. He's going to check out the field, boots it towards midfield, right to Jonathan Etzel, goes backwards. Etzel tries to keep possession of it, fighting over with Hunter Burdine. Burdine back over to the Rockets. Looks like Burdine still fighting for it. Ball's tipped back and forth between the Rockets and the Wildcats. Far sidelines to Clancy. He's going to clear it out downfield. It's going to be Luke Lindsay coming up with it, taking it off of Hunter Burdine. Looks like the Wildcats are going to get the throw in. And Josh Raymond for the Wildcats. And a substitution for the Rockets is Ethan Wilson, and, well, Zach Holzclaw will come in at the next opportunity. Rockets deflected off of Zach Hurley. He's going to get it back. Kicks it towards the midfield over to Hayden Hollins. Hollins taps it back over to Pelletier. Back to Hollins. We're going to get a collision, and Hayden Hollins takes to the ground. He is sitting back waiting for three of his teammates to help him up. Nice sportsmanship showed by Austin Yeager, giving Hayden a pat on the back, making sure he's okay. Hayden Hollins will get the penalty kick. Looks like he's limping a little bit, and he's going to go back and sit down. Abby and Coach Hollins will come out and boy, man, you can hear him breathing heavy from up here. Okay, 8:42 man down, and I will go silent as I normally do with an injury. We'll be right back on Wildcat Sports Radio. All right, Hayden Hollins will be helped to his feet by Abby and Coach Hollins. I mean, I'm not a doctor, not a trainer, so I'm not going to second guess anybody, but it sounded like he was really having a hard time breathing out there. Hayden comes off under his own power. Good to see he's okay. He's going to take a seat. I believe Zeke Holzclaw will enter the game for the Wildcats. Just a quick note. The Lady Wildcat JV volleyball team takes set number 2, 25-10, and will take the match 2-0 over the Lady Cardinals down in Felicity. The varsity will be getting underway shortly. All right, the Rockets back on the field, and the Wildcats will return as Holzclaw does check in at the 8:42 mark. The Wildcats lead it here in the first half 2-1 on goals by Eli Jones and Zeke Holzclaw. Jared Glancy found the back of the net for the Rockets at the 13:21 mark to make it a 2-1 game. It will be Pelletier booting it away. Get it lined up at the 30-yard line. Football lines are still painted nice and white. Ball gets downfield for the Wildcats. Zeke Holtzclaw is going to tap it, and it's going to be Collier coming out to corral it at the top of the goalie box. Collier's going to boot it off towards midfield. Downfield gets by one Rocket and Wildcat, booted downfield by Powers over to Zach Early, but it's going to be Crewy kicking it towards midfield. Header by Landon Dowie, getting it back downfield for the Wildcats. Zach Early and Austin Crewy will collide. The Rockets wanted a whistle on that collision, but they're going to get a penalty regardless, and the Rockets are going to kick it away. A line drive towards the middle of the field down to Yeager. Yeager chips it down to the far corner. Luke Lindsay just going to boot it out of bounds. And the Rockets are going to get a throw in at the 7:35 mark here in the first half. Once again, the Wildcats lead it 2-1. Throw in goes to Mattis, and it's going to be cleared out by Edsel. Over to Eli Jones to the far side to Dakota Pierce downfield. Holtzclaw in pursuit, but it's going to be kicked out of bounds by Zayden Hunt of the Rockets. And it will be a Wildcat throw in for Zach Early, closing in on the 7-minute mark.
Zach Early will take the throw in.
Ball throw in to Zeke Holtzclaw, gets it over to Eli Jones, a kick. Backwards kick goes right over the top of the net. And it will be Logan Collier setting up a goal kick at the 6:48 mark. And we have Jared Clancy coming back in for the Rockets. 6:40 to play. Collier with the kick right to Bunting on the near sidelines. He's going to clear it out downfield. Bryce Powers is just going to kick it back to Dan Jones. Jones going to clear it out to the far sidelines to Luke Lindsay. Gets right out of his reach. And the Rockets will get a throw in. Clancy gets it towards the middle of the field to Yeager. A header. Nice save by Dan Jones as he deflects it over top of the goal. And he falls back into the net. So the Wildcats are going to get a goal kick, or are they? Nope, it's going to be a corner kick by the Rockets, obviously because Dan Jones tapped it out of bounds. Corner kick by Nick Craig in the corner. Line drive towards the middle of the field. Ball deflected, saved by Dan Jones. Save number 5 for the Wildcat goaltender. Raymond downfield. Gets it to Pelletier over to Zach Early. Zach Early works it around the sidelines past Crewy. Zach is going to kick it, and it's going to go out of bounds, but it's going to be the Wildcats throw in, so out of bounds by the Rockets. Zach's going to take it about 15 yards back. Throws it in towards the middle of the field to Eli Jones. He taps it back over to Landon Dowie. Dowie over to Josh Raymond down to the corner. And it's going to be the Rockets kicking it out of bounds. Looks like Nick Craig kicked it out of bounds, and it will be Josh Raymond with the throw-in. 5 minutes to play, first half. Wildcats lead it 2-1. Raymond will get it into Dakota Pierce. Ball's tipped around. Back towards the middle of the field to Landon Dowie. He kicks it into the middle, but it's going to be cleared out by Zayden Hunt. A header by Powers back towards midfield. Jared Clancy with a back kick. And a header by Luke Lindsay will send it back towards the other side of the field. And that's Wilson clearing out to the sidelines. Out of bounds. Wildcats with the throw in. We are at the 4:23 mark. Downfield. Eli Jones kicks it in the air. And it's going to be knocked away by Collier for his 5th save of the game. 4:13 to play here in the first half. Ball taken downfield. And it's going to go out of bounds right in midfield as Pelletier will do the throw-in in midfield. Works it into Josh Raymond. Gets by Eli Jones. Over to Nick Craig. Holtzclaw fighting over it with Craig. Down to Zach Early. He's got a lane. Early with a kick. And it's deflected by Collier. But a nice job by Zach Early. Nice shot deflected off of the goalie, Logan Collier.
Good play by Collier on that.
3:35 and running here in the first half. Dakota Pierce will set up the corner kick for the Wildcats in the far corner.
Pierce will take the kick.
Dakota Pierce lines it up. Set to go. Boots it towards the line drive towards the middle. Landon Dowie tries to kick it in. Saved by Collier as Zeke Holtzclaw tumbles over top of Collier. We have 3 minutes to play here in the first half. A nice kick downfield to clear it out for the Rockets. And it keeps taking bounces. Takes a rocket bounce down to Luke Lindsay. Luke over to Bryce Powers. Powers over to Dan Jones. He clears it out down towards the middle of the field. The Burdine of the Rockets. Bunting kicks it down to the far side of the corner. Chased down by Jordan Hensley. Hensley taps it back to Clancy. 2:33 to play, first half. Clancy shot. And it's going to go over top of the goal. Ball tapped around. Matt Bunting is going to kick it out of bounds as he tries to keep it in bound. The Wildcats will get the throw in the far corner into Pelletier. Pelletier deflects it off of the Rockets. And Bunting is going to hit the deck. Out of bounds. Throw in for the Rockets. We are at 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Wildcats lead it 2-1. Jared Glancy with the throw in on the near side. Throws it in towards the middle. A header by Yeager. Saved by Dan Jones. Jones and Collier doing a pretty nice job in their nets today. Jones will punt it towards midfield. Right to Kyle Barker. Barker gets it back. Landon Dowie taps it backwards. And Ethan Wilson will kick it downfield. And it'll be a Wildcat throw-in with Ethan Pelletier at a minute 25. Pelletier eyes the field, gets it in towards the middle to Eli Jones. Gets past Eli as he was defended by Wilson. Nick Craig tries to fight Eli Jones for the ball. Ball's kicked around, get downfield by Nick Craig. It's deflected off of the Wildcats. And the Rockets will get a throw in just on the outside of the Rockets bench. 1 minute here in the first half. 1 minute, says Guy Bainham. Glancy will get the throw in, gets it right towards the middle of the field in front of the goal. A header goes off the Rockets, and Dan Jones will come out of the goal to pick it up. 42 seconds to play here in the first half. Jones is going to boot it down towards midfield, hits midfield. One heavy bounce over to Zeke Holtzclaw. Rolls off his back. Deflected by the Rockets. Kicked out of bounds by Holtzclaw. And with 25 seconds, the Rockets will get the throw in. We're going to get a whistle. And the referee's having Matt Bunting take a few yards step back. Going to get into Glancy. Glancy kicks it back downfield. Takes one high bounce. Yeager with the side header. Works around Lindsay with the header down to the ground. Landon Dowie gets it over to Raymond. And we are at halftime here at Abrams Stadium on the campus of Williamsburg High School. The Williamsburg Wildcats lead the Claremont Northeastern Rockets 2-1 here at the half. We will be right back for game updates, some information, and what else is going on in Wildcat Country coming up right here on Wildcat Sports Radio. Well, if it's Wildcats gear and apparel you're looking for, check out Remarkable Designs. They've supplied shirts, hoodies, logos, and banners for local organizations, athletic teams, local businesses, and Wildcat Sports Radio. Check out their Facebook page and then call 513-443-2380 or go online to remarkabledesigns.us to place your order. Remarkable Designs, turning imagination into reality. Well, you don't have to go far for great barbecue here in town. Just hop in the car, head on over to Barbecue Heaven and Half Acre Road to 32 Cube. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 7. 32Q has a wide variety on their menu and a Wednesday lunch special. Tomorrow, you're not going to want to miss it. You'll get either a pulled pork or a pulled chicken sandwich with a bag of chips and an ice cold drink for only $5. That's right, people, $5. That's 32Q on the corner of Barbecue Heaven and Half Acre Road. Well, we all know the Medicare system can be very confusing. Better Together Medicare Solutions, a local agency, can answer any questions that you may have. There's never a charge to work with any of the staff. For answers to your questions, call Wildcat graduate Jessica Hayden at 513-545-5787. That's 513-545-5787. Or stop by their new location at 350 East Main Street in downtown Batavia. That's 350 East Main Street in downtown Batavia. For Better Medicare Solutions. That's Better Together Medicare Solutions. Well, if you're in need of an adjustment or some good old-fashioned massage therapy, well, you need Fisher Chiropractic and Massage Therapy. Check out their Facebook page for their daily hours of operation. Call 513-724-1600 to set up your appointment. Then give them a call at 331 South 5th Street, just up the road from Williamsburg High School. That's 513-724-1600. And 331 South 5th Street, again, just up the road from Williamsburg High School. That's Fisher Chiropractic and Massage Therapy. All right, welcome back to Abrams Stadium on the campus of Williamsburg High School to the brand new Main Street Pizza broadcast booth. Boys soccer getting things started off on this absolutely beautiful senior night Tuesday. And to recap the first half, it was at the 32-46 mark where sophomore Eli Jones found the back of the net for the Wildcats for his 5th goal of the season. At the time, the Wildcats led 1-0. And at the 16-11 mark, Zeke Holzclaw on attack, pursued, shot, and goal. 2-0 the Wildcats again at the 16-11 mark. Just about 3 minutes later, though, the Clement Northeastern Rockets got on the board with Jared Glancy off the assist by Austin Yeager, and that's where we stand at 2-1. The Wildcats lead the Rockets again here on senior night, Tuesday night. All right, we did get an update. The Lady Wildcat JV won in straight sets in Felicity at 25-13, 25-10 again at Felicity. The varsity ought to be getting underway here pretty soon, if not already. And we'll try to keep you updated as long as John Macklin keeps updating me. All right, again, the Rockets come into tonight's game 2-2. 2-0 in the National Division. The Wildcats 0-2-1 overall and 0-1 in the division on a loss to Bethel earlier in the season. Eli Jones, Zeke Holzclaw got the Wildcats on the board. Jared Clancy got the Rockets on the board. The Wildcats lead it 2-1. Also, other things going on in Wildcat country. Let's start with tomorrow. Girls and boys soccer. They're going to be traveling down 133 to Felicity. A different start time than normal. It'll get underway at 4:30 with the boys match. Girls match at about 6:30. Middle school volleyball at Hamersville. That getting underway at 4:30. Middle school football at Batavia kicking off at 7 o'clock. Thursday night, middle school volleyball hosting Felicity, a 4:30 start. And the Lady Wildcat varsity and JV, they'll be home with Claremont Northeastern, these Lady Rockets. And it'll be 5 o'clock serving it up from the JV, varsity around 6. Friday Night Lights, the Wildcats travel to Blanchester to take on the other Wildcats. Kickoff 7 o'clock right here on Wildcat Sports Radio. And on Saturday, a couple of very early starts. JV football will be hosting them other Wildcats of Blanchester over there at Osborne Field. That'll get underway at 10 o'clock. And Coach Dave Hollins and his Wildcats will be hitting the road early, taking a ride down to Macon to take on the Eastern Warriors. And that's going to get kicked off at 10 o'clock. Boys soccer at Eastern, 10 a.m. Saturday morning. JV football at Osborne Field versus Blanchester at 10 a.m. All right. 4 minutes to go till the start of the second half. I want to thank our sponsors, Remarkable Designs, 32Q, Fisher Chiropractic and Massage Therapy, Better Together Medicare Solutions, Cadill Landscape Contractors, and as always, Main Street Pizza. 3:38 left until the second half. Once again, the Lady Wildcat JV victorious 25-13, 25-10 over the Lady Cardinals JV to take it in straight sets, 2 sets to none. Hopefully, I will be getting a varsity update here shortly. Thanks once again to John Macklin for taking care of business on Wildcat Pride. All right, with about 3 minutes to go till the start of the second half, and we'll take a timeout here, and we'll be right back for second half action here at Abrams Stadium on the campus of Williamsburg High School. It is Williamsburg 2, Claremont Northeastern 1. We'll be right back on Wildcat Sports Radio. Well, when it's time to feed the family, everybody is going to want something different. Make the call that'll please them all, 513-724-5543 to Main Street Pizza. That number again, 513-724-5543. Whether it's a piping hot pizza with your favorite toppings, a pasta with a salad, a mouth-watering steak hoagie, or an order of the absolute best hot wings in the burg. That's 513-724-5543. Again, 513-724-5543. Whether it's pickup or delivery, make it just another Main Street Pizza tonight. Cadill Landscape Contractors. They specialize in spring and fall cleanup, design, low voltage lighting, paver patios, and installation and maintenance. Give Greg and Kim Cadill a call at 513-473-6267. Again, that's Greg and Kim Cadill at 513-473-6267. That's Cadill Landscape Contractors. Well, if it's Wildcats gear and apparel you're looking for, check out Remarkable Designs. They've supplied shirts, hoodies, logos, and banners for local organizations, athletic teams, and local businesses. Check out their Facebook page, then call 513-443-2380 or go online to remarkabledesigns.us to place your order. Remarkable Designs, turning imagination into reality. Well, you don't have to go very far for great barbecue. Just hop in the car and head on over to Barbecue Heaven and Half Acre Road to 32Q. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 7. 32Q has a wide variety on their menu and a Wednesday lunch special that you're not going to want to miss. Get either a pulled pork sandwich or a pulled chicken sandwich with a bag of chips and a cold drink for just $5. I'm going to repeat that. $5. That's 32Q on the corner of Barbecue Heaven and Half Acre Road. Well, we all know the Medicare system can be very confusing. Better Together Medicare Solutions. A local agency can answer any questions that you may have. There's never a charge to work with the staff. For answers to your questions, call Wildcat graduate Jessica Hayden at 513-545-5787 or stop by their new location at 350 East Main Street in downtown Batavia. For better Medicare Solutions, that's Better Together Medicare Solutions. And if you need an adjustment or some massage therapy, call Fisher Chiropractic and Massage Therapy. Check out their Facebook page for their daily hours of operation. Call 513-724-1600 to set up your appointment. Then visit them at 331 South 5th Street, just up the road from Williamsburg High School. That's Fisher Chiropractic and Massage Therapy. All right, both teams back on the field. We're ready to go for the second half. The Wildcats will get the second half kickoff as D. Colesclaw is going to tap it back to Eli Jones. And we are back to action here at Abrams Stadium at the Main Street Pizza broadcast booth at Williamsburg High School. Jaron Clancy trying to fight it over with Hayden Hobbs, kicks it downfield. And it's going to be Dan Jones chasing the ball, gets it outside the net. 39-44 to play here in the second half. 2-1 the Wildcats.
Dan clears it out.
Dan will boot it out towards the far side of the field.
Nice play by Hunt.
A header back ball by the Rockets over to Nick Craig.
Craig with the ball.
He's going to work it to the far sidelines to Burdine. Burdine taps it down the sidelines. And it's going to go out of bounds. And it looks like the Wildcats are going to get the throw in.
Lindsay with the throw in.
Lindsay, one bouncer to go to Pierce. He works it around. Burdine knocking it out of bounds, but it's going to go out of bounds for a Rocket throw in. All right. That's Simon Mattis with the throw in back towards the Wildcats. Zach Early and Mattis in pursuit of the ball. Early fighting over it. He's going to tap it back to Eli Jones. Eli works it around Mattis on the defensive side. Kicks it off of Kyle Barker, and it's going to go out of bounds. Mr. Carter, how are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you? How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. All right. Eli Jones with the throw in on the far side. Gets it in down to, it's going to be one all to the box. And it's going to be a goal! Ethan Sackrider.
Ethan Sackrider leading Wilson on the score.
At the 38-16 mark here in the second half, the Wildcats have now jumped out to a 3-1 lead. Nice job by Ethan Sackrider. Found an open lane. And again, the Wildcats lead at 3-1. Yeager will tap it back to Mattis. Mattis is going to tap it back to Ethan Wilson. Zach Holtzclaw on pursuit and defense. Back over to Mattis. Taking it back by Luke Lindsay.
Nice play.
Over to Zach Early. Zach Early is going to get it towards the middle of the field. Nick Craig's going to tap it back for the Rockets. Downfield, Clancy, it's going to go out of bounds. And the Wildcats are going to get the throw in.
Lindsay with the throw in. Luke Lindsay.
Lindsay throw in, tapped over to Burdine. Burdine and Hollins fighting forward over to Jonathan Etzel. Etzel is going to be kicked out of bounds. And it looks like the Rockets are going to get the throw in at midfield. 3-1, the Wildcats now lead. Ethan Sackrider with his first goal of the year. Three different Wildcats getting in the scoring column. You like to see a little bit of separation with the scores. Mattis throws it in, deflected off of Dakota Pierce. Clancy's going to get it, and it will go out of bounds. And Clancy will do the throw in for, it's Clancy, not Clancy, Clancy. Clancy with the throw in right in front of the goal. Off the head, and a header by Landon Bacon. Will go over top of the net. It's going to be a goal kick for the Wildcats. We got a whistle. No, they're going to make it a corner kick for the Rockets. All right, so the defense is going to get it set up. Corner kick away, and that's going to go far over to the other side of the goal. A header by the Rockets. And Burdine taps it over to Zach Early. Over to Jared Clancy. Clancy's going to tap it back towards midfield. Back over to Bunting. Make that Zayden Hunt.
Dakota sells it.
And it's going to be Dakota Pierce. Sliding tackle, kicks it out. And a collision between Hayden Hollins and Ethan Wilson. Glad to see Hayden Hollins back on the field. He went down at the 8:20 mark of the first half, the first half. Looked like he was having a hard time breathing. All right, looks like the Rockets are going to get a free kick close to midfield. Nick Craig's going to boot it all the way downfield. And it's going to be Yeager on the near side of the field, but it's going to be Sackrider kicking it out of bounds. And the Rockets will get a throw in. 35-30 to play in the ball game. In the match, 35-24. Nick Craig going to do the corner kick. Line drive right in front of the goal, saved by Dan Jones. Dan had 6 saves in the first half. Save number 7. Clears it way out downfield for the Wildcats. Going to roll out of bounds. But it looks like it's going to be the Rockets getting the throw in.
Barker was throwing for Rockets.
Barker with the throw in off the head of Zach Early. Barker is going to get it back downfield, but it's going to be Powers tapping it back over to Hollins. Hollins tries to get it over to the sidelines, and Ethan Sackrider just could not catch up with the ball. Landon Bacon going to throw it in for the Rockets, gets it into Yeager. Yeager, their top scorer for the Rockets. Yeager with the ball being dogged on defense by the Wildcats. Downfield, it's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to be a Wildcat goal kick for Dan Jones at the 35-10 mark. Here in the second half of the Wildcats lead the Rockets 3-1.
Goal kick for the Wildcats, taken by Dan
Mike
Jones.
Fisher broadcasting live from the Fisher Cover Practice. Make that the Main Street Pizza broadcast booth. We changed names earlier this year. I got to get it right. I got to write it on my hand. All right, it's going to be Etzel fighting over it with Burdine. Burdine's going to get possession. Etzel tries to get it away from him. Nice job by Jonathan Etzel. Ball's going to be kicked around down to the corner to Jared Glancy. Glancy kicks it through the defense, but the Wildcats tap it through. 3 or 4 Wildcats trying to get it away from the Rockets down to the far sidelines to Zach Early. Zach's going to tap it, and it's going to be off the chest of Craig, but we're going to get a whistle, and the ball's going to go towards the Wildcats. The Main Street Pizza broadcast booth. Jared Glancy down the sidelines. Ball's kicked back over to Zach Early. He's going to clear it out towards midfield to Zach Early, or make that Zeke Holzcloth. Zeke taps it over to Eli Jones. Downfield to Zach Early, but it's going to be...
And it is cleared out by number 19.
That's 19, Kyle Barker, clearing out to the sidelines.
Wildcat throw in.
And the Wildcats will get the throw in at the 32-50 mark here in the second half. Senior night tonight. In between matches, we're going to have the seniors honored. 2 boys seniors, 7 girls seniors. And a whistle blown, and it looks like it will be the Rockets getting the throw in as Josh Raymond will come to the sidelines and check in at the next opportunity. And Mattis will clear it out of bounds. And the Rockets will once again get the throw in. No, they're going to give it to the Wildcats as Josh Raymond will check in. Ethan Sackrider comes out to a nice round of applause after scoring his first goal of the season. No, that's going to be Zach Early getting a break. Sackrider thought he was coming out, but he's back on the field. Luke Lindsay will get it into Dakota Pierce. Pierce gets it right back over to Josh Raymond. Raymond towards the middle of the field over to Hayden Hollins. Hollins works it around Ethan Wilson, taps it back towards midfield to Pelletier. Pelletier tries to get it around the defense over to Hayden Hollins. Downfield, knocked out by Nick Craig of the Rockets. So the Wildcats will get a throw in. Hayden Hollins will do the honors. Hollins will get the throw into the middle of the field. Tries to get it to go to Pierce, but it will be Mattis. Tapping it out of bounds, and Hayden Hollins will get the throw in once again. Hollins into Jones. Taps it off. Shot on goal, but it could have Pierce. No, blocked.
That's still working.
And the ball is smothered by Logan Collier. He had no choice.
Much traffic.
All right, yeah, there was plenty of traffic within 10 feet of the goal for the Wildcats. He boots it down midfield right to Jonathan Etzel. Etzel gets it kicked back the other way by Mattis. Hollins kicks it towards the sidelines. Rui and Sackrider. Sackrider comes up with it. Down to Eli Jones. And it's going to be Collier coming out to boot it away and clearing it out. And it's going to be Glancy tapping it downfield for the Rockets. But it looks like he kicked it a little bit too hard out of bounds. And as we close in on the 30-minute mark here in the second half, Zach Early will come back into the game. Sack Rider will come out and get a breather.
That's for Sack Rider.
Landon Dowie looks like he will come in at the next opportunity.
Bunning back in for the
Pelletier with the throw in. Matt Bunning comes in next now for the Rockets. Dakota Pierce gets it around Wilson over to Hayden Hollins. Hollins is going to work it around the middle of the field. Hollins taps it over to Raymond. Raymond back towards the middle of the field. Back over to Holtzclaw, over to Eli. Pinball off of Hunt. And a clear out for the Rockets down to Luke Lindsay. Lindsay's going to get it around Yeager.
Nice head play by Pierce.
A header by Pierce. And the ball's going to go out of bounds, and it looks like the Rockets are going to get the throw in.
Barker with the throw in.
Barker throws it in towards midfield, right in front of the Rockets bench. Back towards midfield, over to Barker. Barker gets it over to Mattis. Mattis gets it away from Holtzclaw. Holtzclaw gets it. Back down to Holtzclaw to the near sidelines, Zach Early. He tried a header, but it was just a little too high, out of bounds. Eli right on the ball with the throw in, and Eli Jones shot on goal, going to be wide right. As Logan Collier was about 10 feet out of the goal box to try to corral any kind of shot. So Logan Collier is going to set it up for the goal kick at the 28-35 mark here in the second half.
Somebody walked in right after the thing did attack.
Line drive right to Eli Jones. Eli running to try to save it from going out of bounds. Does not make it. And it's going to be Austin Cruey with the throw in for the Rockets. Gets it into Bunting. And it's going to be Zach Early tapping it out of bounds. And they throw in once again for the Rockets.
Through the throw in.
Cruey downfield on the near sidelines. Off of Landon Dowie, back over to Mattis. Back over to Dowie. Dowie fighting over. We're going to get a whistle and a push. And it's against the Wildcats. So it looks like the Rockets are going to get a free kick just in front of the Wildcats bench by Nick Craig. Down the middle of the field, kick back by Landon Dowie. Over to Wilson for the Rockets. Down to the far sidelines to Luke Lindsay. He's going to clear it out to midfield to Barker. And Hayden Hollins is going to win that battle. And it's going to go out of bounds. Substitution for the Rockets. Looks like 21. That's Landon Bacon, the man with the golden last name.
Back in for the Rockets.
And it's going to be the Rockets with the throw in. Gets it over to Burdine. Down the sidelines. Going to go out of bounds for the Wildcats. Will get the throw in. 27 minutes to play. 3-1.
Ethan Sackrider back in for the Wildcats.
Sackrider comes back in now, and Hayden Hollins will get a break. Luke Lindsay down the sidelines to Eli Jones for the throw-in. Bounces off the Rockets, but Eli Jones gets it back. Down towards the middle, a header by the Rockets. Early with a header. Right over to Cruey. Cruey's going to clear it out to midfield. Jonathan Etzel clears it back. It's going back and forth. And it will be Hunt back over to Sackrider. So Hunt. Zach Early is going to keep it on the Wildcat side of the field. Gets it over to Pelletier. Down field. A header by Hunt. But it's going to be Josh Raymond getting it back to the middle of the field for the Wildcats. Eli Jones. Shot! And it's going to be a nice save by Logan Collier. Logan had to reach with everything he had. Got it with a one-handed save. And Collier's going to boot it away. A nice clear out on the other side of the field to Pelletier. Gets a foot on it over to Etzel. Etzel over to Sackrider. Gets it knocked off of by the Rockets. Sackrider back down to Pelletier. A header. Gets by Cruey into the hands of Eli. Eli over to Zeke. Zeke chip shot downfield. Pelletier. Header by Pelletier. And the goalie gets knocked down, and the ball wide right of the goal.
Good effort.
A nice job by Ethan Pelletier. But the Rockets are going to get a goal kick at the 25-20 mark.
Maybe a goal kick for the Rockets.
Logan Collier setting up the goal kick. Absolute beautiful night. All right, the Varsity at Felicity, they take game set number 1, 25-10.
Nice clear out by Ethan.
Austin Cruey will bring it back for the Wildcats, or excuse me, the Rockets. Down to the midfield to Etzel. A collision between Etzel and it looks like Landon Bacon. Looks like he got hit in the chest. He's down with his face in the grass, and Abby's going to come out and check him out. 24:40 to play here in the second half. The Wildcats lead it 3-1. Man down on the field. I'm going to go silent as I always do. We'll be right back on Wildcat Sports Radio. And Nick Craig is the man down. He is now up on his feet, walking slowly off with his coach, Rob Collier.
All right. We're glad to see that Nick Craig is up.
I apologize. Thinking it was Landon Bacon. Looked like a 21 on the back, but it was 71. So if any of the Bacon family is watching via the live stream, I do apologize for throwing any panic to you. But it was Nick Craig. He is now walking off the field. Looks like he's going to get a breather. And we're going to be back to action here momentarily at Abrams Stadium. 24:40 to play here in the second half. Wildcats lead it 3-1. Wildcats looking to end a winless streak that at least goes back to last year. Last year they were 0-14-1, played a lot of tight games, at least a handful of 1-0 losses. And if that says anything, that just says how tough these Wildcats played last year. All right, the Rockets back on the field. The Wildcats are joining them. And we are just about ready to get back at it. All right.
Downfield.
Ethan Young with the free kick. Yeager gets it over to the Burdine here on the near sidelines. Over to Landon Bacon. Ball goes off of Burdine. And the Wildcats are going to get the throw in at the 24-24 mark. Pelletier into Dakota Pierce. A header by Jones over to Pierce. Tried to clear it out over to Zeke Holtzclaw. Good Lord. Down the sidelines for Matt Bunting on the far side of the field, out of bounds. And the Rockets are going to get the throw in. Oh, now they're giving it to the Wildcats. Over to Eli Jones, a push from behind, no call. Downfield to Zach Early, and Dakota Pierce clears it out towards midfield. Bacon back towards the Rockets' goal. A header by Mattis. Ball takes a bounce. Kicked in the air by Landon Bacon over to Mattis. A header by Hayden Hollins over to Dakota Pierce. Down to the sidelines to Lindsay, and Lindsay can't outrun the ball. And the Rockets are going to get a throw in. 23-25 to play. The Wildcats 3-1 lead over the Rockets, who are 2-2 overall, 2-0 in the National Division. Nice job by Early. Taken away by Mattis. Mattis works it back to the middle of the field. Shot on goal, saved by Dan Jones. Save number 8 for Jones. 23 minutes to go here in the second half. Jones will clear it out. Nice air time. Josh Raymond lets it take a bounce. And it's going to be Austin Cruey tapping it out of bounds. Pelletier will do the throw-in for the Wildcats. Down the sidelines to Jones. Jones lets it get by him. He's going to fight over it with Cruey. It's going to be tapped backwards, and the Wildcats are going to get the throw-in. 22:30 to play.
Eli Jones with the throw-in.
Jones towards the middle of the field, a header. Ball tapped around, but a header by the Rockets clears it out. And that looked like Zayden Hunt. Hunt with Josh Raymond on his tail. Ball's going to be kicked out of bounds, and the Wildcats are going to get the throw-in. Luke Lindsay will do the honors. 22 minutes to go. Luke Lindsay clears it out, and it's going to be Collier coming out of the goal box coming out of the net at least, to secure it. Nice boot. Downfield, takes 1 hop, 2 hops, and Pelletier will tap it to the far side. Glancy in pursuit with Etzel all over him.
Nice work.
A slide by Etzel looks like it's going to be kicked out of bounds.
Well, good defense by Etzel.
And the Rockets are going to get the throw in close to the far left corner.
Nick Craig back in.
And it's good to see Nick Craig come back into the ball game. Nick Craig was down for a few minutes. Took a nice shot to the chest. Lancy with the throw in. Towards the middle of the field. A header. And Dan Jones coming all the way out to try to secure it. Collides with Mattis.
It will be a goal kick for the Wildcats.
And the shot on goal is going to go wide
nice head shot by Mattis.
to the right. Closing in on the 20-minute mark, halfway through the second half. Dan Jones sets it up. The goal kick is a line drive towards the middle of the field. Mattis, a body shot going the other way. We're going to get and they're going to call it a handball on Mattis.
Handball's call against the Rockets.
And the ball will go the other way. Hayden Hollins will take the kick, gets it over to Pierce at midfield. Pierce works it around Mattis. Pierce stolen away by Bunting. Back over to Mattis. Etzel, a nice job on defense. Taps it over to Raymond on the near sidelines. He's going to save it, keeping it in. Going to tow it down the sidelines, but it's going to go out of bounds.
Nice play.
But it looks like the Rockets are going to get the throw in as we have just passed the 20-minute mark of the second half. The Wildcats 3-1. All right, ball in, knocked away by Raymond. We're going to get a whistle.
Handball's call against the Wildcats.
They're going to call handball against the Wildcats, and it will be the Rockets with a kick.
Wilson take the kick.
Ethan Wilson, a junior, with a kick. Ball down court, downfield. Shot on goal, saved by Dan Jones. Down court. Okay, I'm a little early for that one. Nice save by Dan Jones, number 9 for the afternoon. Clears it out, takes a 1 bouncer, and it's going to go out of bounds.
Rocket throw in.
And it's Bacon right on the throw in. Bryce Powers chasing it out of bounds, goes out of bounds. And the Rockets will get the throw in at the 19-minute mark.
Yeager with the throw in.
Throw in goes over top of Glancy. A header by Bunting, but it's going to be Luke Lindsay clearing it out to the far sideline. And Lindsay in pursuit. Knocks it off of Glancy. The Wildcats are going to get the throw in. Nice hustle by Luke Lindsay.
Good hustle by Luke Lindsay. Yep.
All right, Zach Early with the throw in. Gets it into Eli Jones. Eli taps it back to Zach. And the tap goes just out of the reach of Zach Early. And it will be Bunting with the throw in. To Glancy. He collides with Hollins. Etzel with the ball. A nice sliding kick by Glancy out of bounds, and it looks like the Wildcats are going to get the throw in. 18-10 to play here in the second half. And it will be Jonathan Etzel with the throw-in on the far side of the field. Throws it in, deflected back. Kicked by Glancy is deflected off of Etzel. Out of bounds. The Rockets will get the throw in as Landon Dowie is going to be checking in at the next opportunity. A header by Pelletier over to Nick Craig. We're going to get a whistle and a push against Claremont Northeastern. And the Wildcats are going to get a free kick. And it's going to be Dan Jones doing so at what looks like at about the 5-yard line, as the football field lines are still nicely, freshly painted. Well, since Friday. 17:25 to play. Wildcats lead it 3-1 over the Rockets. And the kick is away, a line drive towards midfield. A header by Mattis. Going to go to the far sidelines. Out of bounds, and the Wildcats will get the throw in. Don't forget, coming up at the end of the boys' match, we will have the senior night festivities. Dowie and Sackrider checking in for the Wildcats. Coming out is Josh Raymond and Dakota Pierce. 2 senior boys, 7 senior girls will be honored with their parents at between matches at the conclusion of the boys' match. And it'll be Zach Early with the throw in for the Wildcats. Gets it in, taken back by Ethan Wilson over to Bunting. Bunting towards the middle of the field to Mattis. Nice defense by Landon Dowie. Dowie works it away from Mattis over to Lindsay. Lindsay works it around 2 defenders. He's going to settle it, try to keep it away, but the defense takes it this time. Nice job by Luke Lindsay. Clancy, he's got some horsepower to him. Clancy kicks it around, knocked away by John Etzel. Jonathan Etzel, and it's going to be cleared out by Early. Gets by the defense of the Rockets. Barker takes it right off the side of the head of Luke Lindsay. If he's anything like his father, he's got a hard head. He's okay. Good old Luke. All right, ball's thrown in, tapped out of bounds by the Rockets. 15:35, the Wildcats have to secure a 3-1 victory, or why not just add on to it? Get some insurance runs.
Nice play by Early.
Insurance goals. I got baseball on my mind for some reason. It's a beautiful day for baseball, for that matter. Downfield, it is Yeager taking it towards the far corner. Turning the corner, kicks it towards midfield over to Bacon. Bacon kick, and it's going to go just wide right of the goal. Out of bounds. And we are at the 15-minute mark as A.J. Heneyes will check back in here in the next opportunity. Seniors to be honored tonight. Zeke Holtzclaw and Dan Jones. Corner kick for the Rockets. Saved by Dan Jones. Save number 10 for Jones. 4:40 to play. Jones and Zeke Holtzclaw, the senior boys. And 7 senior girls. Zach Early on a straightaway gets it knocked over to Eli Jones. Eli to the far sidelines. Taps it downfield, and it's going to be Collier coming out of the goal to secure it. 7th Lady Wildcats. We have Amanda Mitchell, Grace Tigert, Kiana Dowie, Autumn Gregory, and Kirsten Thomas, as well as Alyssa Carter. And the Rockets shot on goal, just wide left. And Savannah McClure. Yeager with the shot on goal goes wide left at the 14-minute mark.
Number 13,
Dakota Pierce and A.J. Heneyes into the game. Holtzclaw and Zach Early will come out of the game. All right. Ball's going to be kicked back over to Dan Jones to set up for the goal kick. 13:35 to play. This is one sport where you can just waste all the time you want to. All right, Jones got it set up. Boots it towards the near sidelines. Gets by Pelletier over to Hayden Hollins. Towards the middle of the field to A.J. Heneyes. A little bit out of his reach over to Bunting. Etzel clears it out towards midfield over to Wilson. Pelletier and Bunting fighting over the ball. Make that A.J. Heneyes. Down to Dakota Pierce. A header by the Rockets. Hunt. Downfield. And the ball kicked down to the sidelines. And it will be Collier going out to rescue it. And there will be a goal kick for Claremont Northeastern at the 12:45 mark. Wildcats 3, the Rockets 1. Collier boots it on a ground ball to the far side. Kicked off of the Rockets. And the Wildcats will get the throw in. 12.5 minutes to play. Ball thrown in downfield to the corner to Eli Jones. Barker in pursuit. Jones works it around Barker. Keeps it the corner. Ball's tapped out by Barker, and the Wildcats will get the throw in just down from the corner flag. Jones gets it towards the middle of the field. And open goal. And Collier gets back right in time. Bacon clears it downfield to Yeager. Etzel, nice defense. But it's going to be tapped back in, and Powers comes up with it over to Pelletier. Pelletier taps it over to Sackrider. A chip shot over to Hayden Hollins. Back to Sackrider. Sackrider over to Dowie and Pierce. Jones has the lead, and it's going to go right to Collier. Nice save by Collier. Ball's cleared all the way down. Luke Lindsay with Burdine in pursuit. Burdine takes it away from Lindsay.
Good play by Etzel.
Nice takeaway by Etzel. Ball towards the middle of the field. It's going to be Heneyes. Falling down, getting right back up. Somebody's trying to get possession of it. Heneyes and Burdine back and forth with it. Kick down to Lindsay. He's going to clear it out. Over to Dowie towards the middle of the field. Dowie in control. Gets it towards the middle of the field, but right back to the Rockets. Down to the far sidelines to Luke Lindsay.
Good hustle by Lindsay, but it'll be a throw in.
Ball goes out of bounds and a Rocket throw in. Going to get a whistle, and we have Glancy.
Jordan Hensley back in.
And it looks like Jordan Hensley. Coming out is Landon Baker. Or Bacon, excuse me. How could I mess that up?
Yeager, or Hensley and Nancy.
All right. Luke Lindsay towards the middle of the field to Ethan Wilson. Landon Dowie chipped it back downfield, but the Rockets will close back on it. Nice job by Bryce Powers cutting it off. A.J. Heneyes gets it over to Dakota Pierce. Downfield, cut off by
the Rockets.
Zayden Hunt. Ball's kicked out towards the near sidelines, goes out of bounds. 10 minutes to go, 10 minutes to play.
Ethan Pelletier with the throw-in.
Pelletier with the throw-in on the near sidelines, right down front. Downfield over the head of Cruey. A missed header by Wilson. Taken back by Nick Craig. Craig's going to kick it out of bounds, and the Wildcats will get the throw-in at the 9:39 mark.
Taken by Pelletier. No, by Hollins, correction. Nice
Hollins with the throw-in.
Pierce tries to settle it.
Pierce
Nice head
works
play.
it backwards. Head play by
Field.
the Rockets over to Pierce. Pierce in control.
Nice by Dakota Pierce.
Chasing it down to the corner.
Tries to turn it. He does.
Works it
Back
around to
Sackrider shot on
Pelletier.
goal. Oh, nice.
Shot on goal saved by Collier.
Excellent.
All right, an update from Felicity. Cats take the second set, 25-4. So they take a 2-0 lead down in Felicity.
Nice play by Etzel.
Etzel clears it back outfield. And goes by Hollins, taken by Etzel, clears it out. Downfield, but it looks like the Rockets are going to corral that, and it will be Hunt. Kicking it towards the near sidelines. Saved by the Rockets. Over to Nick Craig. Craig back over to Mattis. Mattis downfield to Yeager. Yeager taps it to the far sidelines over to Glancy. Glancy, nice footwork. Taps it over to Ethan Pelletier, who's going to bring it back. 8.5 to play. Pelletier over to Nick Craig. Deflected by Pelletier, but back over to Bunting. Bunting downfield for the Rockets.
Nice play
In
by
pursuit,
Hessel.
gets over to Yeager. Yeager gets it over to Hensley. Hensley
Powers
being
in
chased by
pursuit.
Powers.
Clears it out for the
Powers
Wildcats.
takes a tumble. And at the 8-minute mark, there will be a throw-in for the Rockets. As we have substitutions,
For the Rockets.
Zach Early, Raymond, and Holzclaw
Back
for
in the Wildcats.
the Wildcats.
Zach Early.
And it looks, I can't
Josh
get a look on the number. Number 6, that is Garrett Leach for
Garrett
the
Leach
Rockets
in
coming
for
in.
the Rockets.
Powers, Heneyes, and Sackrider will come out for the Wildcats. 7.5 to play. Glancy works it back towards the middle of the field. Burdine boots it. Nice hang time down to the far corner. Garrett Leach will tab it up in the air. Gets it over to Glancy. Glancy works it around. Glancy kicks it towards the goal. Saved by Dan
Nice pick up by
Jones.
Dan Jones.
Save number 11.
And cleared out for the Wildcats.
Dan will hold on to it for a moment just before clearing it out so his teammates can get downfield. Boots it away at the 7-minute mark. And a missed header by Wilson. Dakota gets it over to Eli Jones on the far side. Jones turns it around the defense. Jones works it around the defense. Shot on goal, just over the goal. Another near miss for the Wildcats. And Collier will set up a goal kick for Claremont Northeastern. 6:30 to play. The Wildcats nursing a 3-1 lead. Downfield, past midfield. It looks like it will be Ethan Pelletier controlling it. Taps it out of bounds, and it will be Glancy with the throw in. Gets it into Yeager. Yeager back to Glancy. Deflected off of Hollins. Back to Nick Craig at midfield. Over to Cruey. Cruey has it deflected off of Zach Early over to Eli Jones. And we're going to get a whistle. Yeah, it was going to be offsides because nobody was covering Dakota Pierce. He had a fast break, but you can't do that in soccer. Bryce Powers is going to check back in as the kick from C&E comes downfield. Nice clear out by Bunting over to Luke Lindsay. Luke Lindsay taps it over to the far side. Garrett Leach and Raymond fighting over it. Out of bounds of the Wildcats. With 5:35 to play, get the throw in as Powers will come in for Hayden Hollins. Luke Lindsay will get the throw in over on the front side of the C&E bench. Into Dakota Pierce downfield. Zach Early in pursuit. Tries to get it away from Crew, but it over to Powers. Downfield, nice back to Zach Early. And it's going to be cleared out by the Rocket defense, but a header by Luke Lindsay going the other way. And Raymond clears it out. Zach Early shot, and it's just wide right. Another near miss by Eli Jones.
Would you please make your way out to the track at this time? All senior parents.
All right.
Mr. Haley's got his hand up down there, if you would, please. Thank you.
It will be, and that is Zayden Hunt clearing it out.
Kick. Way downfield.
Downfield for the Wildcats. It looks like it's going to be Etzel going to clear it out towards the sidelines. And we will get a throw in for the Rockets at the 4:15 mark. How you doing? Good, good. I know you. Mr. Ryan Jones, Eli and Dan's dad. Ball in, gets kicked out to Burdine.
Good play by Etzel.
Shot knocked away by Landon Dowie. Nothing but a pinball machine right now. The pinball effect, which the Wildcats have come out with the ball. Being checked by Burdine is Josh Raymond. Getting a little handsy out there on Raymond.
Good play by
Back over to Bryce Powers on the far sidelines. Going to clear it out. Ball gets knocked away. A slide by Wilson. And it's going to go out of bounds, and it looks like the Wildcats are going to get the throw in. 3:30 to play. The Wildcats lead it 3-1. Ball throw in to Raymond. Back the other way for the Rockets, but it's Etzel. Clearing out, we're going to get a whistle on the play. And the Rockets are going to get the throw in. To Jared Clancy. Clancy doing some fancy footwork. A backwards hitter goes right back to Clancy. Back over to Etzel, back over to Clancy. Clancy tries to get it around Etzel, but Landon Dowie in pursuit. Landon Dowie unsuccessful, but a nice effort. Two Wildcats slide and fall over top of Clancy. All three are up and ready to go. Kick downfield by the Wildcats. That is Barker in pursuit. And Hunt clears it out. Raymond cuts it back, but it's going to be cleared out of the Wildcats. Are going to get the throw in. 2.5 minutes for the Wildcats to hold on to a 3-1 lead for their first victory of the season, a victory that's been well needed. Again, last year they went winless through the year, had one tie. But I'll tell you what, they played a lot of tight games. I think there were 6 or 7 games last year that the Berg Wildcats lost 1-0. That's tough to take, too. All right, the Rockets with the ball near midfield, closing in on a 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go. Down to Austin Cruey for the Rockets. Pelletier taps it over to Jones. Jones tries to get by Cruey over to Pelletier. Minute 45 to play. Pelletier's going to kick it down to the corner. And the ball is going to go out of bounds, and the Wildcats will get the throw in. 1:37 to play. Throw, shot, kick. Good by Josh Raymond.
Josh Raymond on the shot. Excellent.
1:33 to play here in the game. Josh Raymond gets his first goal of the year and just about secures the Wildcat victory. It's now 4-1. Nice job by Josh Raymond. 4-1 the Wildcats.
We have 1:33 remaining in the game.
1:33 to play. Yeager will tap it back to Burdine. Burdine deflected off of Raymond. Over to Wilson, deflected off the head of Eli. Collision back over to the Wildcats. Going to be kicked out of bounds by the Rockets, and it will be Landon Bacon doing the honors. Landon Bacon, a header by Nick Craig. One back by Etzel. Etzel trying to get it away from the defense or the Rockets. Downfield over to
Nice play by Bryce Powers.
Bryce Powers in pursuit. 1 minute to play for a Wildcat victory. Ball's kicked out of bounds, and it will be a Rocket throw-in with 50 seconds to play. The Wildcats 4-1.
Nice throw once again.
Throwing downfield, it will be corralled by Dan Jones. 40 seconds to play. The Wildcats feel it. They sense it. Jones will boot it away down towards midfield. Gets back by Hunt. In pursuit is Dakota Pierce. And it's going to be Kyle Barker kicking it out of bounds with 22 seconds to play. And I'm going to say it right now, the Wildcats are going to come away with their first win of the season. They're going to go to 1-2-1 on the season. Claremont Northeastern is going to drop to 2-3 and 2-1 on the season. Guy Bainham, count it down, brother.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And the Wildcats have won.
The Wildcats on a great play and good job by our visiting Rockets.
The Williamsburg Wildcats come away with their first victory of the season, their first victory in 2 seasons. It's got to be bittersweet for the Wildcats. Hi, Jamie. Make that 4-1 for the Wildcats as they have defeated the Claremont Northeastern Rockets. And they're going to be doing the the between game senior ceremony here in just a moment. I mean, I can recap this really quick.
We do thank you all for coming tonight.
Eli Jones with goal number 5 on the season to go 1-0. Zeke Holsclaw at the 16-11 mark in the first half gives the Wildcats a 2-0 lead. Jared Clancy get their Rockets only goal at the 13-21 mark in the first half. 2-1 halftime. Second half at the 38-16 mark. Ethan Sackrider got his first goal of the year, 3-1 Wildcats. And with a minute 33 to play, Josh Raymond
All right,
found the back of the net.
I'm going to start off with the ladies first.
And it is
Rockets.
4-1. The Wildcats are going to go with senior night. Bernie, how you doing?
And we
We're going to turn it
appreciate
over to
your
Guy
time.
Bainham for the senior night festivities. I'm going to turn up my volume a little bit so you can listen to it at home. We'll be right back on
Here's our
Wildcat Sports
seniors for
Radio.
The Rockets. We have Rachel Godsey, Michaela Eifert, Shelby Hagee, Sam Davis, Lauren Best, Abby Puckett. Oh, here comes the ladies. Sorry, ladies, we got the flowers. I'm a little ahead of myself. Rachel Noonan, Holly Daniel, Kylie Prather, Alexis Onstead, and Kendra Brooks. Those are the senior ladies for the Rockets. I think I got you all. For the young men, they all played a great game tonight. Austin Cruey, Jared Glancy, and Nicholas Craig. We thank you, gentlemen, on a fine career you've had as well. All right, I'm going to introduce the seniors tonight for the Wildcats. Kiana Dowie. Kiana is escorted by her mom and dad, Daniel and Andrew Dowie, and her brother, and Jim Burns. Okay. Her high school activities and accomplishments are 4 years of varsity soccer, 3 years of varsity basketball, we hope for, 1 year of track. She's on the Hope Squad for 2 years, Teens Against Bullying leader for 1 year, student council for 3 years. Her plans after graduation: she plans to attend college to pursue a degree in early childhood education and to continue on in her basketball career. Now, that's good news for us. I would like to start off thanking my family for everything they have done for me since I was very little, and everything they continue to do. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have you all. Thank you to my parents for giving me the opportunity to play soccer since I was very little. From buying gear to taking me to practices to not missing one of my games. You guys have been there through it all. Thank you, my mom, who taught me so much about life and how to handle it. Thank you for being here for me no matter what. And thank you for everything and anything and everything you have done and everything you've done for me as well. Thank you to my dad, who has been training me since I was very little to make me the athlete and the person that I am today. Thank you for continuing to push me, whether it be in sports, school, or life. Thank you for being Batman with me. And a big thanks to my little brother, Landon. Thank you for being my absolute best friend since the day you were born. Thank you for pushing me to be better every day. And thank you for being there when no one else was. And thank you for always loving me and doing whatever you can for me. I couldn't have made it without this crazy life without you, Bub. Lastly, thank you to all my grandparents for being there at all the sporting events that you guys could make to it and supporting me through everything. Thank you all for being my biggest fans. It means everything to me. I would also like to thank my coaches throughout my soccer career, Coaches Bree Benjamin, Randy Benjamin, Dave Hollins, Ed Hess, Ann Childers, Chad Wainscott, Daniel Dowie, Jeffrey Cummins, Frank Beeson, Brian Hart. I would like to take a minute to thank all of you for helping mold me into the player and person I am today. Thank you all for believing in me and pushing me to always be my best. Thank you for all the people who have contributed to Wildcat Pride and to our community. Lastly, I would like to say thank you to all my teammates for an amazing 3 years. This team has become my family over the years. To all the underclassmen, don't take anything for granted. These years will fly by quicker than you think. And once they do, you cannot go back to them. So make the best of them. It all goes in the blink of an eye. Thank you, everyone. Batman out. Ladies and gentlemen, Kiana Dowie. Kirsten Thomas. Kirsten is escorted by her mother and father, Tarina and Kevin Thomas. Her high High school activity accomplishments, she's had 4 years of varsity soccer. She was first team All-County 2 years, second team All-City, Inquirer Player of the Week. She's played 3 years of basketball, and she says, hoping for the fourth, and I do too, Kirsten. First team All-County in basketball, she was District 16 Honorable Mention, and Inquirer Player of the Week. She's on the National Honor Society for 2 years. Her plans after graduation to study veterinary medicine. I don't even know where to begin. Senior year has arrived much faster than I thought it would. And it's hard to believe high school is coming to an end. I have plenty of good times in high school that I'll try not to take for granted. I have so many people to thank for those fond memories. Thank you, Brian and Craig and Jeff, for coaching me all these years. You have shown me not just how to be a better soccer player, but also how to be a better leader and teammate. You have been exceptional role models, and I hope to carry everything you have taught me with me throughout the rest of my life. I also want to thank my teammates, both past and present. You guys have become like family to me, and I can't thank you enough for helping me create all of these good memories. I want to thank my actual family, too, for the endless support that they have given me over the years. They have been with me through all the good and bad. My parents have always been there to love me unconditionally. I have also had a unique opportunity to play alongside my cousins, which I don't even explain how much I enjoyed that. Thank you. Wait, I got another page. To all the fans and cheering over the years, thank you, Jamie Hart, for always being my #1 fan and treating me as if I were your own daughter. Thank you for an entire Dowley family for constantly having my back and acting like my second family. I don't know what I would do without you guys. Thank you, Sue Cummins, for taking all those pictures and preserving all those memories, even though I'm not particularly fond of getting my picture taken. Thank you to Mike Fisher and John Macklem for keeping everyone up to date on all sports news, especially during these times when not everyone can attend high school sporting events. Thank you, Guy Bain, for always announcing our games and reading all these letters to us on senior night. I certainly wouldn't find the most glamorous job, but you perform it better than anyone. Finally, thank you to all my fellow seniors. We are a resistant and determined bunch. We are definitely displaying that now. I can't imagine graduating with a better group of girls. I wish you all the best in whatever life throws at you. I love you guys so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirsten Thomas. Alyssa Carter. Alyssa is escorted by her mom and dad, Cynthia and Eric Carter. Her high school achievements: 5 years of color guard, 3 years of high school soccer, 2 years of drill team, 2 years of NHS, 2 years of yearbook, 1 year of tab, and 8 years of martial arts. I read that earlier, Alyssa. I'm never going to mess with you. Plans after graduation. I plan to attend a community college for my first 2 years and then attend a university to further my education in marine biology. I would like to thank everyone who has helped me become who I am over the years. I want to say a special thank you to my mom and dad. Thank you guys for believing in me throughout my entire life, because I don't know where I would be without you guys. As high school comes to an end, I go into the real world. I want to know that you guys are my inspiration, and I couldn't be where I am today without you guys. You have pushed me to do my best in everything and never give up. I thank you for that. Autumn, Savannah, Emily, and all my other friends, thank you for being here when no one else was. I love you guys, and I'm going to miss all of you. Brian and Craig, I owe a special thanks to you guys for welcoming me into the team and being here to support me. You guys have taught me not only about the game of soccer itself, but you also many other lessons in our life. I wish I would have started playing soccer sooner because I didn't want to come to an end. To my teammates, I want to thank you guys for being the best team that anyone could ask. You guys have made this year one that I will never forget. I'm so glad that you have gotten all the chance to bond because you guys are my family to me. I just want to say one more huge thank you to everyone who's been part of my life. You guys mean so much to me, and I will miss you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Alyssa Carter. Amanda Mitchell. Amanda is escorted by Jason and Chrissy Mitchell. Her high school accomplishments: 4 years of varsity soccer, 3 years of varsity track, 1 year of basketball, 2 years of NHS, 1 year of yearbook, and 1 year of prom committee. After graduation, she plans to attend the University of Cincinnati and further her education in the medical field. I would like to thank you for everyone who has helped me out through all these years. For soccer, Brian and Craig, you have made my high school soccer an absolute blast, and the one I could never forget. Thank you for being great coaches and always pushing us to do our best. Jeff Cummins, I would like to thank you for everything you've done for me, from always playing up a year so I could play with you guys, to never being afraid to say what's on your mind. You always find a way to get inside my head and make me fired up. You have pushed me so hard, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I think all the girls would agree with me when I say I have a love-hate relationship with you. You're constantly yelling at me, but I believe it or not, I do appreciate all your criticism. It has shaped me into the player I am today, so thank you. To my teammates, thank you for making my senior year so much fun already. We have bonded so well this year, and you girls are family to me. To my teammates, junior class, I have played with all of you since we were little. They have been the best years of my life. We have made so many great memories that I wouldn't trade them for anything. I miss all the tournament late nights, hotels, early morning games, carpools to Monday night training, and alley dolls being late to every practice. You girls have made all these years of soccer so great. It sucked for me being older than all of you. I'm going to miss all of you next year as you play your final year of high school soccer. To my best friend, Allie Arnett, thank you for coming to every one of my games and being my biggest supporter. Oh yeah, and thank you for filming our games. Now I can hear everything you and Mom say about me because the film isn't muted. Thanks to my mom and dad, I love you guys. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Mom, thank you for always driving me to my soccer tournaments, always washing my jerseys after late nights, and dealing with all the stinky soccer cleats. I wouldn't be able to do it without you. Dad, thank you for always supporting me, no matter what, and trying your hardest to make it to all my games with your work schedule. Even though you couldn't have made it tonight because you're on this storm duty for hurricane, I know you're still cheering me on. I'm going to miss playing soccer, but it's been a great ride. Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda Mitchell. Autumn Gregory. Autumn is escorted by her parents, Amy and Michael Gregory. Autumn has played 3 years of soccer, 5 years of color guard, 3 years of student council, 3 years of track and field, 1 year of art club, 3 years of science Olympia, 1 year of the school musical, 1 year of NHS. After graduation, Autumn plans on going to the University of Cincinnati to study nutrition and dietetics. She would also say, I would like to thank my coaches for being there and encourage me to work harder. I will miss playing for you guys. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for always supporting me. I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, Autumn Gregory. Grace Tiger. Grace is escorted by her parents, Lori and Frank Tiger. Grace has had 4 years of football cheer, 3 years of soccer, 3 years of basketball cheer, 3 years of varsity track, NHS member for 2 years, Folk Squad for 2 years, prom committee 1 year, yearbook staff 1 year. Her plans after graduation: she plans on heading to the University of Cincinnati to pursue a career in the medical field. I would like to thank everyone who supported me through my high school years: Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Thank you for always pushing me to be the best athlete I could be. To my teammates, thank you all for welcoming me to the team my sophomore year and becoming some of my closest friends at the same time. It's been a great call, this wonderful and talented group of girls, my teammates. To my mom and dad, thank you for coming to every single game of mine and always being my biggest supporters. To my brother Aaron, thank you for always being my best friend and giving me advice throughout my high school journey. And thank you to Guy Bain for being the best announcer out there. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, Grace Tiger. Savannah McClung. Savannah is escorted by Crystal York and Jason McClung. And Nevia Torres. Her high school activities and accomplishments: drill team 4 years, color guard 3 years, soccer 2 years, NHS member for 2 years, tutor for 2 years, ETS member for 5 years, choir for 2 years, Hope Squad member for 1 year, tab member for 1 year, Girls on the Run mentor 1 year, and was in the school play Alice in Wonderland. After graduation, Savannah, not completely sure what she wants to do, but wants to attend Moorhead University to become a teacher. I would like to thank my family, friends, teachers, and coaches for helping me become the person I am today. I love you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Savannah McClung. Zeke Holtzclaw. Zeke is escorted by Jody Lawson and his grandfather, Ed Holtzclaw. His high school activities include 4 years of varsity soccer, 4 years of academic team, 1 year of baseball, 2 years of track and field. Zeke said, I would like to thank my goalie, Dan Jones, for being one of the best goalies and stopping most of the shots on the goal. After high school, he plans on attending University of Cincinnati and majoring in IT. Ladies and gentlemen, Zeke Holtzclaw. And our last senior, Mr. Dan Jones. Dan is being escorted by his parents, Ryan and Holly Jones. Dan has played varsity baseball 4 years, varsity soccer 4 years, 2 years of basketball. After graduation, Dan plans to attend college. There are multiple people I'd like to thank for helping me to get to where I am today. First, I'd like to thank my dad. Without your support and coaching, I would not be the athlete I am. I've learned how to be coachable and how to strive to be better every day. From the hours I've spent in the batting cages, trips all over the place, and many championships, your influence has always been felt. Thank you for always helping me improve. Mom, thank you for always supporting me through all of my ups and downs. I've always known that you have my back. You've been my #1 fan since I can remember, and I know that you'll be there for years to come. Also, I thank you for being there for late-night homework sessions. To my siblings, Eli, the one who always pushed me to be better, Matt, one of the smartest kids I know, and Peyton, my sometimes crazy but sweet sister. I love you, and I can't wait to see where your futures go. The rest of my family, my grandparents and cousins, I appreciate the way you are there to support and to cheer for me wherever I go and whenever you can. I have the best family. Finally, to the boosters, Mike Fisher, Wildcat Pride crew, Guy Bain and Rick Hewley, thanks for all the hours you put in all the Williamsburg athletics. We are lucky to have such a supportive community. Underclassmen, keep going hard, stay focused, and go Wildcats. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dan Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give all these seniors and their parents a big round of applause for raising such fine student athletes.